Innovation lesson number 4 or 5. Lost count. How many? What are we up to, John? 4. 4. Thank you very much. All right. Innovation lesson number 4. Focus on a vertical brings manifest benefits. Not only because you know who you're selling to and you can work out what they really need, but also because you can take a much more general, high technology approach and bring insights from that vertical into that technology. Domain expertise brings benefits across the board. So with that, let me introduce Praful from Coseer.
I used to be at a hedge fund before I did Coseer, and it was a great job, except for the days when my boss walked in and said, Praful, he was an Indian, Praful, can you look at the IBM stock, please? And that was fine, that was my job. But the problem was that while he was walking away, he would just drop in slightly, let us meet in 3 days. Now that was a problem, because that meant that for the next 3 days, I would be spending nights just going through thousands of documents, trying to get some relevant information out of this and create something like this. Probably 6 to 8 pages, a report which has everything about IBM or any company that you need to know rather than what you have to know. And that's when we will start thinking about what to do with that company, whether to buy or sell or whatnot. As I think more about this situation, I realize that in every enterprise, most professionals are doing one of 2 things. Either they are gathering data, searching on Google or Bloomberg or what have you, and making summaries and looking for relevant information in the thousands of things they have got to do. Or they're thinking about that information they have put together and making decisions, being creative, innovating. Well, what adds more value? Of course, the green box, the thought-oriented processes. But where do we spend most of our time? Unfortunately, the opposite. And that's the problem we at Coseer set out to solve. Right here, sitting here, all of you are digitally connected to huge amounts of information. It's so huge that you don't even know what's in there, and you don't know how to manage it. I'm sure all of you struggle for responding to emails or just reading through them. What we do is, for a given topic, connect with all that information and give you actionable summaries, which are logically structured. They're available to you up to date. Something like this, only dynamic and on the go. We are, of course, focusing on financial services given my background. Coseer Express is the best way for investors to stay on top of their portfolios. We basically take whatever is happening in that huge information that you have access to and then deliver it to them in actionable bullet points. Bloomberg and Reuters are not doing that yet. Financial services as an industry spends about $35 billion on tools like this. We think our SAM is about $1.5 billion. But the point is that financial services is where we are starting. No matter which industry you're working in, you have this problem, and we can help you. The reason we are so confident is this. Our technology is an order of magnitude faster or more powerful or quicker than the state of the art. What does that mean? It's not just less cost and more time or something like that. It's basically now you can use commoditized hardware. You don't have to buy a supercomputer from IBM to get their Watson technology. Now you can make interactive systems. Why is that so important? Interactive systems are great anyways, but this is a probabilistic science. Nobody can stand here and tell you that they know 100% what they're talking about. And so if you make the system interactive, you get human input, the efficacy just goes up. Because you have more power, you can get higher quality summaries. Because you have more power, you can go broader and get absolute answers. More important than all this, our technology has let us recruit a great team. Compared to a normal startup in Silicon Valley, we are more experienced, we are highly pedigreed, and it's a virtuous cycle. Last time I presented this slide, that number there was 4. It is today 13. And I'm sure we can keep building up on that edge. The other advantage of having this vision and having this technology that is heads over shoulders is that we get access to customers. Customers return our calls. We have had more than 100 customer interviews. And again, I can't thank Citrix enough. 60 of them have been through the program. And these conversations have been super gratifying. I'll give an example. Like a lot of these conversations, I'm sure some of you are also thinking the same way. A lot of these conversations start with, don't bother me. I got it. I have like these 3 trusted people I go to, and they give me perfect information. There's this guy who invests in a mine in Chile, and the biggest investment risk to his investment is basically not whether the mine will stop producing, but that the government will change its mind about the continuing license. So he has to keep on top of the political environment in Chile. And he follows a couple of newspapers, scrambling and making guesses. We started Coseer for him. We basically, within seconds, took the entire landscape of Chilean politics and delivered that to him bullet point by bullet point. And you could see the twinkle in his eyes. And the conversation went from, don't bother me, I got it, to how can I help you? Can you do this? Can you do that? And those conversations are super gratifying. Today, we have a beta product out. I'm happy to hook you up in case you're interested. We already have 15 organizations using it. I'm sorry, it's 15 organizations using it, and that's a great amount of feedback that we're getting. We are actually on a weekly product iteration. Every week we release something new, small or big. We've already begun conversations with some enterprises for on-premise solutions. But the whole focus really in the team is just iterate, get the software to work as if a human would in that red box, which is gathering information. We are not looking for funding as of now, even though we are open to conversation starters, but really we're looking for introductions to enterprises who want to set that balance right in their own walls. The balance of where are you spending time versus where are you getting value. We're also looking for introductions to co-visionaries as partners, advisors, investors, mentors, team members. But people who believe that human beings are special, they should be doing creative and innovative things, and everything routine should be done by technology. In the end, I want to leave you with a challenge. Where are you spending your time? And maybe you are senior enough, you have leverage. Where's your team spending time? Where's your organization spending time? Please think about it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Praful. I work with Coseer, and maybe I can help you.
Great job, Praful. I know I'm spending too much time trying to find data, so I very much want you to be successful. Questions from the panel?
So first of all, very interesting work, and as we've said before, when we've discussed that, I really like the fact that you worked in the industry that you're targeting, so you really understand the problem. So I want to pose a question to you and give you a little bit of background. So when I first came to this country, when I came to engineering school, I was used to doing math in my head. I never used a calculator. And I saw everyone using calculators, and it took a while for me to figure out, okay, you put information in this black box, and a result comes out, and you're supposed to trust this result? Yeah. And I actually ended up doing a lot of benchmarking myself till I said, okay, I can give up this, and I can just rely on the black box. So the question I'm going to ask you is that you're asking customers to do a very similar thing, right? To give up something where it's a flawed process, but they understand how it works. And you're asking them to trust a black box. So how are you going about establishing their confidence, benchmarking, showing them that this black box works?
It's a great question. And in fact, when we started putting this together, that was one of the biggest hurdles. And I don't think we have crossed it yet. So last November, we came up with this prototype with this magic box. You come in, you type the ticker, and your investment memo is right there, right? And we took it, I was very proud of it. We took it to all the customers, and they're like, same thing. Okay, great, I'll use it, but I would not trust it. And that's when we rolled back and came up with this Express product, which is non-obtrusive. It just sits in your email box. It just gives you 2 emails a day, or you can go and log in. It doesn't cost you to use it. And the idea of that product is, of course, it's very valuable, which we are learning now, is to make you trust us. Because all that we are telling you, you will not, I'm 100% sure you will not trust it the day one, but as you compare it to what else you are knowing from other places, and that's what we have seen. Our users get, let's say we have about 100 users we started with, and some got out immediately, and some got out for a few months. People who have stuck around for a week are still on the platform today, and because they started trusting us. So that's a great question. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, I have a somewhat related question. Have you found, obviously, in terms of finding benchmarks and things, you have to have numbers, like I think in this case it was number of noun phrases and things. Have you found, certainly in your interviews with these customers, that those types of numeric benchmarks correlate well with actionable information that they can take and use as part of their business?
No. On this slide, I was trying to show off technology. What I showed to my customer is how many thousand documents were published on their topics of interest, other companies and et cetera, were published in their information network, and how many bullet points we are showing them. So for a company like Facebook, usually every week there's about 50,000 documents published. And I'm not talking about somebody writing a diary. I'm talking about reputable sources. And of course, nobody goes to 50,000 documents. Actually, if you look at the content in that 50,000 document, it's probably 20 bullet points. So that's the metric I go with to my customers. Thank you.
Any other questions? Great. Thanks so much. It's been a joy to have you in the program.
Likewise.
Thanks very much. Here's your certificate, little gift. And we'll see you at the party. Thank you.
Thank you.